Alrighty, guys, what is up? Welcome to a new series, Cookie Clicker Steam Edition with Lone Debater 7. We're just going to change up the name real quick here, so we'll pull out the apostrophe. That's fine. Cool. So I've gotten some asks to go ahead and pick back up with Cookie Clicker, mainly because there's some new features, new Ascension stuff added. So I've double timed this start just because the start is pretty much the same. You know, you buy what you can buy, blah, 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 build up your cookie count, all those good things. So I decided in order to take a look at the new content that has been added to the game, I would go ahead and try out the Steam version of the game. Because I played it on the browser before. They're identical as far as I'm aware. The Steam version just has the benefit of supporting the developer of the game, which I'm all about. No worries there. And also, you have access to the Steam Workshop, which has some mods and things along those lines that you can take a look at as well. Right now, I'm using my old clicking macro. I believe it's OP Auto Clicker. If you want to Google that, you can find a clicker that works the way mine does. Basically, as a toggle, it'll click the cookie. Blah, blah, blah. I know that there's some mods that give you the auto click functions pretty much straight out, which will probably be the way that we go in future episodes. I just haven't really looked through and picked out which mod kit I want to add to my Steam version of the game yet. We'll make a video specifically talking about that later. It'll maybe even be the next episode. I don't know exactly how I'm going to approach that, but basically, I just wanted to show off the early game. I mean, basically, you go through, you get your cursors, you get your grandmas, you get your farms, you get some mines. Normally, the way I like to do it, I try to get 10 of the building prior to purchasing the next tier. Now, that's not always a hard, fast rule, just because it's not always the most efficient to do that. Like, if you get a specifically good golden cookie, you might be able to afford the next tier building a little bit earlier than that schedule would say. And it's best to get the next tier building if you can afford it, in general terms, just because they output a lot more cookie per second. Now, with that being said, we're basically going to build through. It's a fresh save. You guys saw us start at 0 cookies, and now, you know, we're 132 a second, a few thousand. We got our first mine. Woo. Let's go. But basically, by using this auto clicker macro that I've got and everything, we should get all the speed baking achievements. There's 3 of them. So just no worries on that. I also utilize the macro because it allows me to produce content for this particular game significantly faster. Like, there's no way I could possibly click as fast as this macro is clicking. So generating the cookies would take significantly longer, like probably 10, 100 times longer than it does with the macro. And it still takes a good amount of time utilizing a macro such as this. But no worries. The downside to the OP auto clicker is that you do actually have to have your mouse on the big cookie in order for it to do clicks. It doesn't automatically do the golden cookies for you. And there's some other functionality that might be preferable, which is why I'm going to take a look at some mods, after this episode. But basically, if you watched my old series on Cookie Clicker, we went through and gave some Ascension guides, and we ultimately found a script that was pretty good. You could put it in on the web browser version. So if you're playing on the web browser, I'd recommend that. Oh, wow, we got a click frenzy. First golden cookie is a click frenzy. That is awesome. That will definitely jump us forward a little bit. We can go ahead and get a bank and a factory, and we can get some of these cursor upgrades. The percent cookie per second upgrades are actually quite valuable to us since we are utilizing a macro, just because it allows you to go ahead and increase how much you get for each click of the big cookie. So I try to prioritize those as much as possible. In general, getting the cursor counts every 50, you get a new tier upgrade for your cursor. So that's a pretty good upgrade early game. And then the kitten upgrades are pretty good as well because they're based off of how many achievements you have. You generally unlock achievements just as you play the game, build more buildings or buy more buildings, whatever, and those types of things. So those are another one that I try to prioritize. Beyond that, it's kind of, what you think is going to increase your cookie count most efficiently, I guess, would be the way to phrase that. So like I said, I generally go 10 of the building before, then I buy 1 of the next building and get 10 of those. then generally I'll go back through and 10 stack the like 1 or 2 tier buildings behind. So like right now I have one bank. I'm waiting until I get 10 factories, and then I'll start working on doing 10 banks. I'll probably go in and get 10 more mines than the 10 we currently own. Once we start working in on the banks, it kind of just depends on how much cookies you have and things like that. You can get a rough idea of what's going to be efficient based off of the cost of the building. So like our next bank is, what is that, 22 million, a little bit more, almost 23 million, whereas a factory is only 8, a mine's only 1. So you can look at how much each of those buildings produces, and you can do some quick math and figure out what's going to make the most sense to purchase based off of how much it costs and how many cookie per second increase you're going to get out of it. So that's how I kind of approach it. Everyone's a little bit different. Play how you want to play. That's just my little tip for, building through the early game. Now, with Cookie Clicker, if you haven't played before, they have, if you see the little legacy bar in the upper right next to the store, that will slowly fill up the more cookies we bake. You get your first legacy level at 1,000,000,000,000 cookies made. So we're a ways off. We're doing thousands of cookies, and you need 1,000,000,000,000 cookies. So you can do the math there. But eventually, once you have enough legacy levels, you can do what's called a prestige. So it's like most other incremental games. You can prestige your account, which basically increases the total amount of cookies per second you generate for the same amount of buildings, and the buildings cost the same, right? So that is kind of how you move or progress through the game, more or less. I believe, or at least in the browser, it used to be if you held off on doing the first ascension until you reached specific milestones, you would get some extra achievements and things like that. We are not doing that because, yeah, you build ascendancy levels or legacy levels really, really slow the first time around. The second ascendancy goes a little bit faster. Still not super amazing fast, but whatever. No big deal. We'll cover that when we get there. So kind of the plan for this series, we're going to, play through like you normally do with the game, Cookie Clicker. We're playing it on the Steam version, so I wanted to make a dedicated series for that because it is technically speaking a different platform. The little banner up top that says 100, those are heralds, which I know that there are ascendancy levels that are specifically related to that. But when you play Steam version anyway, you get 100 heralds, and well, you don't always get 100 heralds. The herald count is based off of how many people are actively playing the Steam version of the game, which I think is kind of cool. It shows you, hey, at least 100 other people are playing Cookie Clicker via Steam right now, right this second, as I'm recording this episode, and I get some cookie per second bonus off of however many heralds are active, more or less. And I believe the ascendancy probably changes how many heralds you maybe can have or what their boosts do or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't believe the browser version actually utilizes the heralds just by default, right? You actually have to unlock that through the ascendancy. But for the series, we're going to cover how to do each of the ascendancies for the version 2.048, which is significantly newer. It's probably about 10 or 15 versions newer than what the old Cookie Clicker series I have on the channel was recorded at. So there's definitely new buildings. There's definitely new ascendancy stuff to look at. So we're going to do a guide for all the ascendancy levels and how to progress through on that. We'll also probably take a look at some mods out of the Steam Workshop for Cookie Clicker. So if there's a specific mod or something you want me to kind of review or take a look at for you, be sure to drop a comment down below the video saying, hey, could you look at this particular Cookie Clicker mod? I'm interested in how it works, and I don't actually understand how it works, or something along those lines. I'll do my best to accommodate that. Not too bad. Now, just preface on that, it does have to be Steam Workshop mods. I'm not going to go out and third-party kit anything like that for this particular game. Not worth it. Steam Workshop has a fair amount of different mods available for this game already, so try to keep your mod requests to just the Steam Workshop if you would, and I will install it, take a look, and put it in a video for you so you can get an idea of how it works before you actually add it to your game. With that being said, the early game's pretty boring. It's pretty much the same for everyone. You just increase your cookie per second by buying more buildings, buying the upgrades as they come about, click the golden cookies. Playing this game active is how you progress the fastest, just because the golden cookie bonuses really do become a lot more like they're impactful throughout the entire game, but when you get to specific points, you kind of stall out on what your base cookie per second is actually going to allow you to get, even using a clicking macro. So you really become reliant almost upon clicking golden cookies and getting specific buffs and things like that in order to generate the amount of cookies you need to purchase everything. So I'm going to try to play semi-active. I am a little bit busier during the week now. So it's more or less going to be kind of like, oh, we're playing this on the weekend type of a deal or playing this after work type of a deal. So progress may not be as fast as you all would like. I apologize for that, but I'm going to try to accommodate the series as best as I can and upload videos periodically, showing off various things. So, like, when we get our first sugar lump, we haven't started accumulating them yet. I think that's based off of how many cookies you've accumulated or how much you generate, something like that. But basically, you can upgrade each of the different building types with sugar lumps. So we'll go through how I'm going to spend the first, few of those, or how I'm going to spend them. So there will definitely be videos about that, kind of giving you a guideline of this is maybe where you should spend your first few sugar lumps in order to maximize your efficiency in progressing through the game. We're also going to do mod showcases like I discussed. We're also going to do legacy or ascendancy guides for this version of the game to give you an idea of, oh, when should I actually prestige? Oh, what should I spend these prestige points on in order to make the next ascendancy a little bit easier for me or make it better for me? So we're going to do all of those good things. We might do a periodic update video where we just show you how many cookies we have, when we get new buildings, all of that good stuff. The building list is pretty much the same up until you get to the late game. I think they added 1 or 2 new buildings, so we'll definitely do videos taking a look at those just to kind of compare them. But anyway, guys, we basically are starting a fresh game of Cookie Clicker on Steam. Going to be lots of fun. I'm looking forward to making this series for you. If you enjoy Cookie Clicker and want to see more, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon. That way you get notified when the next episode comes out, so you can, satisfy that cookie craving that you might have. Anyway, lots of fun. We're going to go ahead and click through, and yeah, we'll probably wait until we get maybe one more golden cookie, something like that, and then we'll wrap it up. But more or less what the plan is in between this episode and the next, I'm going to, play the game, generate some cookies, buy some more buildings, and everything like that. It's relatively, consistent content, I guess I would say, in the sense that it's going to be the same for everyone, and it's boring. You're basically clicking this cookie, you save up enough, you buy the next thing, and then you click the cookie again and rinse, wash, repeat, that type of thing. So I'm not going to bore you with all of that. I'm going to skip ahead to when there's actually some content creation type moments, meaning oh, we unlock something new, we're taking a look at a sugar lump spend, we're taking a look at how a building upgrade works, whatever it may be. So between this episode and the next, we're going to go ahead, generate up some cookies, buy some more buildings. We're going to get to the point where we have a sugar lump most likely, so we can upgrade our first building and kind of show that off. We'll probably come back with a mod installed from the workshop, hopefully. That will kind of take the place of our OP auto clicker that we're using right now. I don't need anything super crazy on the mod side. I primarily am just looking for something that's going to click the cookie for me that doesn't actually require me to have my mouse directly on the big cookie the entire time. That way I can kind of idle this in the background, generate some progress while doing other things on my computer. Because if your cursor has to be locked to the big cookie, you can't do anything else on your computer at the same time. So that's kind of my plan in between episodes. We'll definitely do periodic updates so you guys can see where we're at. Not all the episodes are going to be as long as this one, most likely. Some of them will be a little bit shorter, kind of more focused on specific elements of the game. So try to save you a little bit of time on that, that type of a thing. But yeah, anyways, I'm super excited about this series. I hope you all are as well. Be sure to let me know in the comments if you like Cookie Clicker, if you don't, what you want to see in the upcoming videos, and I will, accommodate as best I can. But guys, I think we are going to wrap it up here for today. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as always. Oh, wow. We got another click frenzy. Wow. That's actually pretty awesome. We got two of them in, this is like an hour of playing the game or 30 minutes of playing the game. So that's pretty significant. I mean, normally those click frenzy cookies do not come about very often. But as I was saying, we're going to wrap it up here for today. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. And until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.